Hello, fellow brothers. Welcome to Rare Breed Brotherhood. Imagine a man who doesn't need to prove himself, who isn't looking for approval from anyone, and who holds a quiet but undeniable power. He's not loud, flashy, or caught up in competing for attention, yet he's the one that people can't stop watching. This is the Sigma male, a type who doesn't follow the usual social rules, and that's exactly why he stands out. He moves through life with a steady sense of purpose, creating his own path, his own measures of success, and his own rules for how to treat people. Women often find themselves drawn to him, but there's something unsettling about his presence too. He's hard to read, hard to influence, and never sticks around if the connection feels shallow or forced. His standards are uncompromising, and while he may not be quick to open up, those who get close find that he's more intense, intelligent, and deeply aware than they imagined. There's a magnetism in his mystery, a pull that doesn't fit into the usual expectations, and this duality makes him both irresistible and intimidating. Sigma males don't chase approval, and they won't settle for surface-level interactions. Women are drawn to the strength in that independence, but they also fear it. It's like staring into an unknown depth, captivating yet leaving you with questions that only he can answer. And here's the twist. He won't offer those answers unless he chooses to. Let's get started, brothers, and don't forget to let us know your thoughts in the comments section, as I do love to hear from you. Number one, they're all in or all out, no gray areas. Sigma males don't do half measures. When they commit, they go all in, 100%. No holding back, no room for second thoughts. It's an all or nothing mentality that sets them apart. They're either fully dedicated or completely detached. If they see potential in a relationship or project, they'll pour everything they've got into it. But the moment they sense any hesitation or doubt, they're out. Simple as that. No drama, no dragging it out. Just a clean break. This decisiveness is what draws women in. For those who crave something real, something grounded, a Sigma male's commitment feels like a breath of fresh air. He doesn't play games, and he certainly doesn't waste time on anything that isn't worth his energy. There's something incredibly appealing about a man who knows exactly what he wants and doesn't hesitate to go after it. His focus and drive make him stand out in a sea of indecisiveness. But here's the catch. This all-or-nothing mindset is not for everyone. For women who aren't sure about what they want or who struggle with commitment, a Sigma male's sharp sense of clarity can be terrifying. They might find it difficult to keep up with his certainty, and the pressure of having to match that level of commitment can make them back off. It forces them to confront their own level of dedication, making them ask themselves whether they're ready to truly invest. In the end, a Sigma male's ability to commit fully and walk away without hesitation creates a powerful aura. It's this balance of being all in or all out that makes him both irresistible and a little intimidating. Number two, they operate on principles, not emotions. Sigma males are an interesting breed. They don't let their emotions call the shots. While most of us might feel a nudge or a shove from our emotions, bending to social expectations or going with the flow to avoid rocking the boat, Sigma males operate differently. They live by a set of principles that they don't bend or break, no matter how tempting it might be to follow the crowd. They don't drift along with every trend or get swept up in the latest drama. Instead, they're like lighthouses in a storm, staying rock steady, guided by their own values and beliefs. This approach makes them fascinating to women, especially because they don't get caught up in emotional games or people-pleasing. Where many might bend their personality to fit in, a Sigma male remains who he is, unbothered by the need for approval. There's a kind of strength in that, a strength that demands respect and a little awe. But there's also an edge to it, because you can't pull a Sigma male into your orbit with charm or pressure. If he's not on board with something, he'll calmly and completely stick to his stance. For some, this principle-first mindset is refreshing, even magnetic. But for others, especially those used to steering situations through emotions, it's daunting. A Sigma male's loyalty is to his values first, people second. So if he's at odds with what's happening, he won't fake interest just to keep the peace. His unyielding approach means you have to meet him where he is, and that's not always easy to handle. For women, it's both exciting and challenging, an attraction that never feels fully under control. Number three, they refuse to perform for approval. Sigma males have one rule when it comes to approval: they don't need it. While many people twist themselves into knots trying to fit in, adapting their personalities like actors in a never-ending audition, the Sigma male is having none of it. He's not interested in performing for applause, validation, or even a polite nod of approval. He's more like that person who shows up to a costume party in regular clothes just because he feels like it. This refusal to play along with social expectations makes him stand out in the crowd. There's no putting on a face or adjusting his personality based on who's around. Instead, he's as real as it gets. And people can sense that from a mile away. He's raw, unfiltered, and entirely himself, which ironically only makes him more intriguing. He's like that one friend who says exactly what he thinks, and even if it makes everyone shift uncomfortably in their seats, they respect him for it. This nonchalance towards approval doesn't mean he's unfriendly or arrogant. He's just indifferent. If you flatter him, it'll slide right off. He's not here for empty praise. In a world where everyone's striving to be liked, he's content just being himself. And strangely, that confidence can be intimidating. For women, it's like trying to figure out a puzzle with no clear edges. They're drawn in by the fact that he's not actively trying to impress them, which feels both refreshing and slightly nerve-wracking. In a world full of performers, the Sigma male's refusal to play the game makes him secretly desirable yet equally daunting. His appeal lies in his unapologetic authenticity, which few can match. Number 4, they turn the mirror back on you. Sigma males don't do surface-level chit-chat. If you're hoping for polite small talk about the weather, you're in the wrong conversation. A Sigma male has this rare, almost unsettling knack for steering discussions straight into deeper territory, bypassing all the social fluff. His approach is like a mirror. You find yourself looking at your own thoughts, beliefs, and insecurities, whether you expected to or not. When he asks questions, he doesn't go for the easy ones. He'll dive right in, asking things that might make you pause, maybe even feel exposed. It's not that he's trying to put you on the spot, but he genuinely wants to understand the real you, not the polite public version, and here's where the desire and fear come in. On one hand, it's refreshing to meet someone who isn't just going through the motions. On the other, he's getting closer to thoughts and feelings you might not even admit to yourself. Women find this intriguing yet unnerving because with him there's no place to hide. If there's a weakness, a hidden insecurity, or an unexamined belief, he'll bring it to light without even trying. He's like that friend who tells you bluntly, "Are you really happy with that job? Or why are you still in that relationship if it drains you?" It's both eye-opening and uncomfortable. This depth makes Sigma males desirable because they're not afraid to be real, to have those rare, raw conversations that are so hard to come by. But this also puts people on edge. His ability to turn the mirror back on you means that with him there's no playing pretend. You either meet him with the same honesty or risk feeling exposed. Number 5, they're selective about who gets to know them. In a world where everyone's oversharing every detail of their lives, the Sigma male stands out like a rare breed. While others might be broadcasting their every move or emotion on social media, he's a closed book. He's not the type to spill his thoughts just to get sympathy or validation. Nope, the Sigma male keeps his cards close to his chest, sharing only what he genuinely wants to, and only with people who've earned his trust. For women, this selective privacy is intriguing, but let's be real, also a little maddening. He's like that novel with a mysterious cover and no blurb on the back. You want to know what's inside, but he's not giving away any clues. The few who do get a glimpse inside his world know they're there because they've earned it. And for those left on the outside, it's a head scratcher. They're left guessing, piecing together little things, wondering what makes him tick. Part of the allure is that he's not afraid to let people wonder. He's not desperately trying to prove himself or win anyone over by putting everything on display. In a world where everyone's rushing to connect and share, he takes the opposite route. He reveals only what he chooses, making him both a mystery and a challenge. This doesn't mean he's unfriendly or hiding some deep, dark secret. It just means he values his privacy in a way that feels almost old school. For women, it's like they're holding on to pieces of a puzzle with no clear picture in sight. Just enough to keep them curious, always wanting to know more, but never feeling like they have the whole story. It's this selective openness that makes him the kind of enigma people can't easily walk away from. Number 6, they walk away at the first sign of drama. Sigma males have a superpower that many people can only dream of: a zero-tolerance policy for drama. While some people can't resist jumping into every little spat, heated group chat or back and forth online debate, Sigma males are out the door at the first whiff of chaos. Drama just isn't their thing. It's almost like they're allergic to it. One hint of unnecessary conflict and they're gone without a second glance. For those who crave a stable, no-nonsense relationship, this drama-free zone is a dream come true. Imagine having someone who's not going to pick fights for attention, stir up conflict just for the thrill, or sulk for hours over a minor misunderstanding. A Sigma male will simply leave all that energy-draining nonsense behind, focusing instead on things that actually matter to him. Women who value peace and a mature connection find this refreshing, like finding an oasis in a desert of petty drama. But for people who thrive on conflict, it's a different story. The Sigma's refusal to play along can be terrifying for anyone who uses drama as a way to control, manipulate, or keep things interesting. He won't stick around to be pulled into emotional theatrics or passive-aggressive mind games. He sees it as a waste of time and energy, and honestly, he'd rather be anywhere else. This walk-away approach makes Sigma males both desirable and hard to handle. He's solid, calm, and focused, but he'll cut ties the second things get unnecessarily messy. So while he may be everything someone wants, he won't hesitate to hit the exit if things get chaotic, leaving people either deeply impressed or genuinely rattled by his unbreakable boundaries. Number 7, they're self-possessed, not self-obsessed. Sigma males are the kind of confident that doesn't need to scream for attention. They're comfortable with who they are. No need for validation, no constant need to remind the world of their greatness. It's not arrogance, it's self-possession. There's a quiet strength about them, like a calm lake that's unbothered by the storm around it. They don't need to prove anything to anyone because, well, they already know their worth. This type of confidence is magnetic. Women are drawn to it because it's authentic. There's no ego-driven performance. It's just pure, unshakable self-assurance. Unlike the loud, in-your-face arrogance that some people try to mask as confidence, Sigma males give off a vibe that says, I know who I am, and I'm fine with that. There's no need to show off or make a spectacle out of their accomplishments. Their actions speak louder than words, and people notice. Women find this grounded sense of self extremely attractive. It's like they don't need to chase anything, yet they have everything. But here's where things get tricky. The more you admire, the harder it is to crack through. Sigma males keep their personal space guarded like Fort Knox. They're not the type to let everyone into their world, so trying to get close feels like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. Women admire their depth, but they also realize that getting to the core of who they really are is a challenge. And that's what makes them so intimidating. The Sigma male isn't just confident, he's selectively mysterious, which is exactly what keeps people, including women, on their toes. Number 8, they never play social games. Sigma males are like the ultimate anti-social game players. While most people seem to be constantly dancing around with subtle power plays, mind games, or emotional hooks, the Sigma male simply refuses to join the circus. He doesn't engage in the manipulative drama that many people use to feel in control or to get their way. Instead, he's all about straightforward, no-nonsense honesty. And guess what? He's not easily manipulated either. This trait makes him a wild card in relationships because there's no guessing or second-guessing his intentions. He's not interested in playing those annoying little games where you have to decode hidden meanings or measure every word for possible manipulation. With a Sigma male, what you see is what you get. That's both refreshing and, let's be honest, a little terrifying to some people who rely on those games to maintain control. For women, this can be a breath of fresh air. No more wondering if he's only saying what he thinks you want to hear or worrying about hidden motives. With a Sigma male, you don't have to decipher anything. But it can also be jarring because many women are used to the emotional roller coasters and unspoken rules of typical dating dynamics. When they encounter someone who simply won't play those games, it throws them off balance. But the Sigma male doesn't care. He's not interested in manipulating or being manipulated, and that makes him stand out in a world where everyone is playing some sort of hidden game. His refusal to engage in these petty social dynamics is exactly what makes him both so desirable and at times intimidating. Number 9. They redefine masculinity on their own terms. Sigma males have a way of flipping the script on what it means to be masculine. While many people still associate masculinity with brute force, dominance, or being the loudest person in the room, Sigma males redefine it entirely. They're not interested in proving themselves through typical alpha behavior. There's no need for that. Instead, they show masculinity through self-reliance, resilience, and deep introspection. They don't need to shout their worth to be heard. This quiet confidence is a powerful magnet for women. There's something deeply attractive about a man who doesn't have to overpower others or engage in constant one-upmanship. A Sigma male is someone who stands on his own without needing to tear others down to lift himself up. His masculinity is grounded in his ability to take care of himself, endure challenges, and reflect on his life with a level of self-awareness that most people could only dream of. However, this unique approach to masculinity often leaves women questioning where they stand. They might be used to the usual alpha behaviors, bold gestures, the fight for dominance, the attention-seeking moves, but with a Sigma male, it's different. He doesn't operate in those predictable ways. His presence is calm and steady, and his power comes from his ability to rely on himself, not from controlling or competing with others. This leaves many women intrigued, but also unsure of how to approach him. He's not easily categorized or manipulated into fitting a mold, which only adds to his allure. In the end, Sigma males don't just embody masculinity, they redefine it. And that in itself is a challenge for anyone who's used to following the typical script. Number 10, they prioritize personal growth over relationships. Sigma males have a refreshing yet intimidating view on relationships. They see them as an enrichment to their lives, not the center of their existence. While many people invest all their time and energy into defining themselves through their relationships, a Sigma male is more interested in refining his skills, expanding his knowledge, and constantly evolving. He doesn't look to a partner to complete him. He's already complete. His self-worth doesn't hinge on whether he's in a relationship or not. Instead, he focuses on growing as a person, whether that's mentally, physically, or emotionally. This mindset is incredibly attractive to women who value depth and independence. They see a Sigma male as someone who's driven, self-sufficient, and always pushing himself to be better. He's not reliant on anyone for his happiness, which is a rare and highly sought-after trait. Women who are equally ambitious and growth-oriented will naturally gravitate towards him, admiring his focus and passion for personal development. There's something magnetic about someone who's not afraid to be on their own path and isn't trying to mold themselves into someone else's idea of a partner. But for women who are looking for a traditional, role-based relationship where both people are expected to be emotionally and physically dependent on each other, a Sigma male can seem daunting. He won't conform to the usual expectations of constant attention, emotional validation, or sacrificing his own personal goals for the sake of the relationship. His priority is always growth, and while that makes him incredibly valuable, it can also make him hard to pin down. In short, Sigma males are a paradox. They're deeply desirable for their depth and independence, but can be a challenge for anyone looking for a more conventional dynamic. Their focus on personal growth makes them captivating, but also a little intimidating for those expecting something more traditional. Number 11, they radiate a sense of calm control. Sigma males are the embodiment of calm under pressure. In situations where most people would panic, get defensive, or crumble, they stay collected. Whether it's dealing with a personal crisis, navigating an intense argument, or simply facing the chaos of daily life, a Sigma male remains unshaken. This unflappable nature makes him feel like an anchor in a storm, offering a sense of stability that others can't help but be drawn to. Women find this calm control incredibly magnetic. It's not just that he seems composed, it's the fact that he doesn't let anything or anyone throw him off balance. He operates with a quiet confidence that reassures and attracts. In a world where emotional reactions often dictate how people respond to stress, a Sigma male's ability to stay composed stands out as something rare and almost powerful. However, this steadiness can also be intimidating. For some women, encountering a man who has mastered his emotions and navigates chaos with ease can force them to confront their own insecurities. Their natural reaction may be to question their own emotional responses, feeling as though their own lack of control is laid bare in comparison. It's like looking at a mirror that reflects not just your face, but your emotional strengths and weaknesses too. This dynamic makes Sigma males a paradox. While they're incredibly appealing because of their calming influence, they also bring out a level of self-reflection. that some women might not be prepared for. They don't just make you feel safe. They make you realize that perhaps you're not as calm or collected as you thought, and that can be both alluring and a little terrifying. Number 12, they're relentlessly honest even when it hurts. Sigma males have zero tolerance for sugarcoating. They don't believe in wrapping the truth in soft words or dressing it up in pleasantries just to make others feel comfortable. If they see something, they say it, often in the most direct, brutally honest way possible. This no-nonsense approach can be incredibly refreshing for women who value authenticity and appreciate when someone doesn't hold back, even if it's uncomfortable. There's something magnetic about a man who's not afraid to speak his mind, even when the truth cuts deep. But let's be real. This level of honesty can be unsettling for those who would prefer to stay in the safety of comfortable illusions. Some women may want to hear the sweet version of things, the one that doesn't shake the foundation of their beliefs or confront them with their flaws. For them, a Sigma male's unfiltered honesty can feel like a punch to the gut. He'll expose truths they'd rather not face, leaving them no choice but to confront uncomfortable realities about themselves, their relationships, or the world around them. While this can be a deal breaker for some, others are drawn to the rawness of it. Women who value growth, self-awareness, and clarity find this quality incredibly appealing. There's a certain power in a man who can look at the situation, see it for what it is, and call it out without fear or hesitation. It's a strength that commands respect, even if it's a little difficult to digest at first. In the end, Sigma males may be feared for their brutal honesty, but they're also admired for it. They don't waste time with pretense, and that authenticity is what makes them stand out. Dear brothers, if you've enjoyed this deep dive into Sigma, Mals, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. Tap the bell icon to stay updated on our latest videos, and join the conversation by sharing your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for tuning in. Remain blessed.